Hi everybody, good evening po sa inyong lahat and welcome back sa ating mini coaching series for the month of June. So bago po tayo magsimula, babati muna po ako sa ating mga viewers ngayon. Hi po kay Ma'am Meryl, Jane, Jean, Jelea Puerto, magandang gabi po. Kay Teacher Regine, magandang gabi. Kay Ma'am Eleanor, kay Ma'am Shen, Bless Ventures. Nako, talaga naman, andito sila. Talagang walang sawang sumusuporta sa ating mga videos at talagang nag-review with MET. Good evening po sa inyong lahat at kung hindi pa nagagawa, my dear friends, huwag pong kalimutan na mag-subscribe sa ating YouTube channel. Currently po tayo ay meron ng 732 subscribers. Sana po this week makaabot tayo ng 800. So please invite your friends. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like our videos and share our videos sa inyong different social media platforms. Now mga kaibigan, ngayong gabi, punong-puno po ang ating review dahil dalawa ang ating magiging lectures for tonight. Ang una ay Math with Sir Nico at maya-mayang konti after Sir Nico ay The Teacher and the Curriculum with Sir Ayo. Kaya tingin ko, let's start na. Andiyan na ba? Hi po Ma'am Christine Joy Pizarro and hi po Sir Dexter So. At mga kaibigan, let us all welcome Sir Nico. Sir Nico, magandang gabi.
Hi, good evening everyone. Good evening Sir EJ. Kamusta?
Sir Nico, bati ka muna sa ating mga viewers na sa YouTube.
Hello to everyone watching us live from YouTube. Yan. So don't forget to subscribe. Nandiyan na kayo sa YouTube, no? So like all our videos, watch them, give comments and all.
At saka Sir Nico, bago tayo magsimula, pwede mo mag-announce muna ako ng something. Announce ko muna sandali.
Sige,
Actually,
sir.
my dear friends, sa mga ating manonood sa YouTube, I would like to announce na available na ang ating libro, ang ating LEPT Reviewer 2021 edition. Ito ang Better Normal Edition, my dear friends. You may order. Ano yun, Sir Nico?
Ang ganda ng cover.
Ay, oo nga. Actually, special yung cover. Yung nga, Sir Nico, parang pag bumili sila ng libro, para sila bumili ng art. Kasi yung art na yun talaga ay kinumission ng MET para talaga sa ating libro, 'di ba? So talagang grabe at talagang pinagandaan to ng yung MET family. So if you want to order the book, ito ay available sa Shopee. Type niyo lang Met Review Center and nandoon lahat ng mga details kung paano niyo makuha ang ating bagong libro. So ayun lang. So maraming salamat sa mga nakabili na and order na tayo mga kaibigan, order na. Ayun, sabi ni Ms. Razel, waiting na po para ma-deliver. Salamat po, Razel, sa pag-order. Ayan. So mga kaibigan, since punong-puno po ang ating gabi tonight, siguro let's start na. Sir Nico, okay ka na?
Yes. Okay.
Take it away.
Thank you, Sir EJ. So just allow me to share my screen. Ayan. I think you can see my screen already, Sir EJ. Yeah. Pa-confirm lang, sir. You can already see my screen, right?
Yes, opo, sir.
So habang kino-confirm ni sir, I will just like to reintroduce myself again, no? So my name is Sir Nico, no? I'll be handling the math, no? So I hope you can still remember me. So anyway, this will just be quick. Let's try to make it appear to be madali, no? Kasi anyway, that's the point of coaching, no? To teach you how to answer problems or questions, not only giving you the answer but also teaching you how to answer the questions very quickly and also very easily, no? So let's start. Okay, so let's have this first question. So just to try to take note or remember that these questions are inspired from or taken from previous licensure examinations. So yeah, okay, sige. So teka lang pala, wait lang. I just have to share this one in my iPad para masulatan ko pala siya. Okay, kasi ang math ay kailangan na sinusulat. Sige, saglit lang. Ayan, kailangan nating ito. I-share sa ating iPad. Yan. All right. Okay. Sige, so hold on. Yan, okay. Sige, I think pwede ko na tong sulatan. Yan, kailangan nating well-versed, no, sa tech. Yan, so sample lang. Try nating sulatan to ng, ayan, I can write already. Yan, sige. First problem here is this one, no? Sabi dito, Throughout the years, Gawad Alaga has built houses for resettlement of informal settlers and QC. The houses built per year are as follows: 2001, 189 units; 2002, 193 units; 2003, 325 units; 2004, 515 units. What is the total number of units built in 4 years from 2001 to 2004? Guys, addition lang siya. Okay? So, sige. So, ang solution lang natin dyan would be 189 plus 193 plus 325 plus 515. Sige, can you make responses doon sa ating chat while can you make responses to our chat? Lang para may participation ng konti. So the answer is, sige nga po. Yan. Okay. Sige. So the answer is 1,222. Hindi ko pala makikita yung responses if you're watching from I think from the live. No, so it's 1,222. So letter B is the answer for question number 1. All right. Okay, sige, next. This one. Okay, so a house is insured 3/4 of its value at a premium of 4%. The annual premium is 10,500. What is the value of the house? Okay, so sabi dito, insured daw yung house for 3/4 of its value, no, at premium of 4%. So how do we answer this one? Okay, the annual premium is 10,500. Alright? Sige, so paano po natin yan sasagutan? Sige, so for this one, it's 10,500 is the annual premium, which is 3/4, not 3/4 of its, ano bang tanong dito? The annual premium is 10,500. Sige, parang something is missing with the the question. Sige, anyway, let's try to go back to this problem, no? I think meron lang na overlook doon sa pag-type ng question. Dito muna tayo sa next problem. Divide 6.2424 by 3.06. What is the quotient? So how do we do this one? So we have 6.2424 divided by 3.06. So for this one, you want to work on whole numbers, no? So ang gagawin natin dyan is to actually move, no, the decimal points. Ganito siya para maging whole number. Yeah, okay? Or what you can do here on the third problem is to actually, no, pag nahihirapan kang mag-divide because it will take you a longer process, but this is the way to it, no? So you move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 also here. So you're dividing a big number. So what you can do is you can do, anyway, coaching to, no? So I'm teaching you strategies and techniques. So what you can do is from among the choices, you can do multiplication. So you can do the reverse, no? In this case, what we can have is trial and error lang siya. So you can do 3.06 times letter A muna tayo, for example, no? So this one, medyo madali na siyang i-multiply because you multiply it as it is, no? 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 0 is 0, and then 2. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we have 0 times 3.06. Then doon na tayo sa 2 for the last one, no? So 2 times 6 is 12. Carry 1. 2 times 0 is 0 times 1. Plus 1 is 1. And then we have 2 times 3, which is 6. Ayan. So we have here 4, 2, 4, 2, 6. Count the number of decimal points. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is A. 2.04, no? Ginawa natin yung method na to because it may be a lot more difficult if we do division, no? So anyway, again, coaching is about techniques, no? Sige, dito tayo sa next one. A certain recipe calls for 6 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 cup of water. What is the ratio of sugar to egg? Sige po, so paano natin gagawin to? So you just go to, ang ratio is, find the amount of sugar and then find out how many eggs corresponds to that one. So for this one, we're not talking about water, no? So dito lang tayo sa sugar and then egg. So sabi dito, sugar to egg. So that will be 3:6, no? Pero wala siya sa choices, no? But always remember that ratios are fractions. So if you write this as fraction, that is 3:6, which can be simplified into 1/2, which can be rewritten as 1:2, no? So the answer to number 4 is letter D, 1:2. Yan. I hope I'm not going too fast, but if I do, you can always go back, no? Balikan niyo yung YouTube video. That's why we are here on YouTube, no? Balikan natin yan, yung YouTube video. Ayan, all right, next, okay? Mr. Maderazo manufactured a piece of furniture for 16,000 and sold it for 20,000. Yan, if the overhead was 2,000, what was his gross profit? Sige, anong sagot po natin dito? Sorry, naguguluhan lang ako sa ating camera. Yan. Sige, so how do we answer this one? Yan. So our answer for this one would be letter B. Tama? Simple math lang siya, no? So overhead is 2,000 because the total is sold it for 20,000. Tama ba? 20,000 minus yung cost of manufacture, which is 16,000. That would result to 4,000. And then, if the overhead was 2,000, what's his gross profit? So, ang gross profit niya dyan is 2,000 kasi may overhead pa. So, minus pa natin yan. So, this is letter B. Okay? Sige, doon na tayo sa next item natin. Okay, ay bumalik. Sige, so we are at item number 6. Yan, given the equation 7x equals 91, if you divide both sides of the equation by 7, what is the result? So just simply solve it. No, 7x equals 91. We're just simply solving for x by dividing both of the equations by 7 para makancel yung 7. No, so over 7, cancel mo yan. So 91 is divisible by 7. That is, 91 divided by 7 is letter C, 13. Yan, all right. Okay, next. We are at question number, ano na ba tayo? Question number 7. Okay, if 3/4 centimeters on a map represents 9 kilometers, so sa map very small yan, no? Yung actual niya is 9 kilometers. How many kilometers will be represented by 12 cm? Yeah. So ratio and proportion problem ito. No, so first you rewrite yung value in the map versus the actual. No, so or is to the actual. So you can have 3/4 is to natatakpan ng mukha ko yung question. 3/4 is to 9 equals 12 is to x. Yan, okay? Sige, so this is map actual, no? So direct proportion. So they just simply solve for x, no? So this can be rewritten as a fraction. So we can do this, no? 3/4 over 9 equals 12 over x. And then we can cross multiply. Cross multiply natin to dyan. Tapos ito naman pwedeng interchange. Okay? So yung x mapupunta na dito. We have 12 times 9 yung from the denominator of the other side over 3/4. Okay? So this is division, no? So 12 times 9 divided by a fraction. Pag nagde-divide tayo ng fraction, we turn it into multiplication and then get the reciprocal of the divisor. No, I hope you still remember, medyo ano siya, grade school lesson, no? So we can have, bago tayo mag-cancel, 12 times 9 times yung 3/4, we get the reciprocal of that, no? So that will be 4/3. Yan. Okay, I hope gets natin yung fraction. Okay, so at this point, we can simplify and cancel out. Divide natin yung 9 by 3. So this will be 3 and then 1. So we have 36 times 4. Anong value ng 36 times 4? Let me just move this, no? Kahit di nyo nakikita. Yung camera kasi sa Zoom kung saan nakalagay. So natatakpan niya yung PowerPoint. Okay, so this is 36 times 4. So that will be 30 times 4, 120 plus 24 is 144. Okay, letter A. This is already question number 7. Ano na tayo? Question number 8. Okay, question number 8. Yeah. All right. So Miss C decided to paint her house. Miss kasi, her house, she wanted the paint pink. No, she mixed 7/8 of can of white color to 1/3 of a can of red. No, so white plus red corresponds to pink, syempre. So how many cans of paint did she use, or how much amount, no, in terms of cans of paint did she use? So this is just a matter of addition of fractions. So recall lang natin, since sa board exam, bawal naman ang calculator. No, so 7/8 dapat marunong ka mag-add niyan sa sa 1/3. Okay? Yeah, so for this case, I hope you still remember, we get or try to find for the LCD or the least common denominator. Yeah, so the LCD of 8 and 3 you can find by getting the multiples, no, of 3 and 8. So 8, 16, 24, kung alin doon ang divisible by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So 24, no? So mangyayari dyan ngayon, 24 divided by 8 times 7. Ganun yun eh. Diba? So 24 divided by 8 times 7 is 21. And then, write plus. 24 divided by 3 is 8. No? Plus 1. Or times 1 pala rather. Excuse me. Times 1 is 8. Ayan. Okay. So the answer for this one is, tama ba tayo? 24 divided by 8 is 3 times 7, 21. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Times 1 is 8. No? So 21 plus 8 is 29 over 24. The answer for this one is letter B. Sige. All right. Okay, so next pala, next. Okay. Dito tayo sa deposit, no? So, Joner deposits 8,000 in the bank at 4% interest compounded annually. After 2 years, his money will grow by, so in this case, we have this clue, compounded, no? So meaning we are doing compound interest, no? So the formula for compound interest is so the value or the final amount is equal to the principal times 1 plus the rate of growth over the number of years. The principal will be compounded times the number of times the money will be compounded times the time. Okay? So for this case, the principal is 8K or 8,000. So the rate daw is how much? 4% or 0.04 over the number of times the principal will be compounded. So this is in a year. So in short, this is 1 lang. So 1 times a year lang siya sa co-compound. Raised to 1 times the number of years is 2. So in short, this will be 8,000 times 1.04 raised to 2. So you can multiply, no? Multiply 1.04 or raise it to 2 or 1.04 times 1.04. So ang value na makukuha natin dyan would be, wait lang, 1.0816. So times natin yan ng 8,000. So the result is 8. Check nga natin ulit. 1. Ano yun? 1.04. Tama naman. 1.04 raised to 2. Ayan. Okay. So ang tamang sagot dito ay, teka lang, wala siya sa choices. Let me move this. The correct answer here is 8652.8. So yan. So answer natin to ng how much the money will grow. So that will be yung final amount minus the principal, which is 8K. So 8652.8 minus 8,000. So 652.8 or 653. May mali ba sa question? Compounded annually. Okay, wala naman. Wala lang answer sa question. Okay. So supposed to be letter E, no, for that one. O ganun talaga, minsan walang sagot. Ayan. Minsan sa actual questions from the exams kasi wala naman talagang sagot. No, so 652 yan. Okay, next. Okay. So this one, let's move on. Which of the given quadrilaterals has exactly one pair of parallel sides? So this is just definition, no? So for parallelogram, we say 2 pairs. No, for trapezoid, we say 1 pair. For kite, 0 pair. No, and rectangle and square are both parallelograms. So the answer here would be letter B. Yan. Trapezoid. All right. O sige, so for the question kanina, which we have an error, no, on the question, I think this is item number, ano item ba yan? The one with, teka lang, let me go back. Saan yan? Eto, the one with premium. Probably what we can do is to have this discussed on the next mini coaching session, because there's an error on the there's a missing item on the point on the question. So actually that's it, no? That's the part of the review. So before I end, I would just like to remind for you to subscribe on the YouTube channel. Please do order also if you want. You find that you may need a reference book for this one. You can find us on Shopee. Just search Met Review Center. Also, if you find that this review, the mini coaching is significant for you guys, no, you can enroll on our hybrid review, which is happening on, kailan na nga yan, sir?
November po, November, hybrid
November.
season 3.
Ayan, Season 3. We hope to
Yes.
see you on our Season 3. So thank you, everyone. And I'll turn you over to Sir EJ once more. Bye-bye.
Maraming salamat, Sir Nico. Thank you very much po. At tama si Sir Nico dyan, mga kaibigan. Ha? I think parang ang aming project is by November, we will be opening our Season 3 already of our hybrid program. So if you have friends na hindi pa nakakapag-review for the board exam for teachers, please ask them to inquire sa ating MET FB page. At syempre mga kaibigan, if you have not done yet already, pa-subscribe po sa ating channel, pa-like, pa-share, at syempre, hit the notification bell. Ayan. So, once again, Sir Nico, maraming salamat. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir.
See you next month. Kasi ito ay talagang hanggang sa wala pang exam, ito ay dire-diretso na. So see you next month, Sir Nico. At syempre, mga kaibigan, after math, ang ating next subject is the teacher and the curriculum. Mga kaibigan, let me call on Sir Ayonel. Sir Ayo, kamusta?
Yes po, magandang gabi,
maayong gabi. Tama ba? Maayong gabi.
Yes, tama po,
Mga
Sir
kaibigan,
AJ.
straight from Cebu, Sir Ayo. Sir Ayo, take it away. Go na po.
Sure. Salamat, Sir EJ. Good evening, everyone. Maayong gabi. I am Sir Ayo at your service, and I will be discussing to you some items for our mini coaching tonight on the teacher and the curriculum. The teacher and the curriculum is part of our subjects or our domains under the professional education major subject, which would be part, of course, of the board examination for licensed teachers. Hopefully, everyone here who are watching us live via YouTube would be licensed professional teachers in the nearest future. We are praying with you on achieving that LPT pin. Okay, good luck, dear teachers. For now, let me share some items about the teacher and the curriculum. Let me give you some reminders. Number one, the teacher and the curriculum tackles everything, meaning it needs to have this understanding also of the psychological foundations or about the learner, about the teaching profession, about principles of teaching, about assessment. Therefore, an understanding of the curriculum will also need to have an understanding of these other subjects under professional education course. Number two, because it is about the professional education subject, please have the understanding. Parang nawawalan ako ng mga words, no? Pero I think that's the best word to use. Please have the understanding that when we take the board examination focused on professional education, we need to put things in perspective that all these subjects under professional education must be put into good use. So while there might be items about assessment, siguro there will also be little tinges of the other subjects as well. For example, there might be a question about the grading component in the K-12 curriculum. So it's actually hitting both assessment at the same time, teacher and curriculum. So therefore, when we study for professional education, don't think separately of the subjects, but rather understand that all things come together to become the professional teacher that you need to be. Okay? Now, I have here 10 items. Let us answer them together. By the way, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also I hope that you will be able to invite your other friends who still need to become licensed professional teachers to take our hybrid program and at the same time buy our books, all for you, our dear licensed teachers in the nearest future. Let's start with our first question. Mr. Alfred finds satisfaction and fulfillment in teaching, especially when he shares his skills and expertise in choral works and conducting to students. This situation is a depiction that a teacher is passionate about teaching because he or she is fervent about blank. Teachers, one note to do when you're going to answer such items, this is actually a situational item. Make sure to underline important words. In this case, the important words here that would lead us to the answer are the words skills and expertise to the topic or to the subject. And the topic and the subject here is on choral works and conducting. Therefore, what is this role of the teacher or this responsibility of the teacher that is being shown here in the situation? I think you know the answer. I hope you're putting your answers there in our chat box in YouTube. The answer is letter D. Let me explain. There are different roles of the teacher, okay? On the screen, you will see a lot of roles. The roles can be divided into how the teacher is in contact with the student, such as being a facilitator, a mentor, a model. Also, the expertise of the teacher, meaning being able to evaluate, being able to plan, being able to organize. Also, while we are far from our students, let's say we are preparing for our classes and all, we produce materials and resources that students will be using. That's also another role of the teacher. But the last role, which is actually focused here in our question, is on content expertise, meaning the teacher lectures, the teacher knows about what is actually being discussed to be able to provide the best information. The best information is information that is based on research. Therefore, we are reminded that having this good discipline or having this good content expertise will lead us to become the best teachers for our students. The teacher here is passionate about his or her discipline. Let's go to question number 2. What is a fitting realization out of the research finding? A majority of the respondents strongly agreed that teachers help develop the moral character of the children. So take note of my tip, underline or encircle some important words. The important words here in the situation or in the question is on teachers developing moral character. So what does it mean? So the situation is actually asking us to evaluate what does this mean out of the research finding. A, I should impose discipline in all my learning instructions. B, I should model the values to children because values are taught. C, I will ask students to research about social issues and problems. D, my syllabus should have a listing of values intended for integration. In the process of elimination, I think letter A is not included in the possible answers, and letter C as well, because this is not about doing research, but this is about teachers developing moral character. So we have letter B and letter D, right? But let's go back to the situation. Majority of the respondents in the research agreed that teachers help develop the moral character. It's actually not about the syllabus and putting values there, although it could help that while we are preparing for our classes through the syllabus or the curriculum plan, we should already have identified the moral values that we have to teach to our children. But this is actually not really about teaching outwardly the values, right? This is about how teachers are able to develop the values of our children just by modeling them to children. That's why the answer here is letter B. Let me explain. We have Kohlberg's moral development theory, and I hope you're able to review this with Sir Noy and Sir Ver. There are 3 levels of Kohlberg's moral development theory, and these levels will have to be gone through by students, and hopefully the teachers are helping towards the development of morality in our children. Also, it's a reminder, values are taught rather than taught, meaning these values are unconsciously imbibed from the immediate environment. The immediate environment includes the teacher, the classmates, and of course the parents and the other stakeholders. They have significant roles to play in the values formation of our children. Therefore, there should be a gradual attempt to indoctrinate our children, our pupils, our students with the right values. So the ability for teachers to show that high social regard for morality should always be with the teacher, because it's not enough that we are just going to teach children the values by discussing what the values are. We should walk the talk. We call this the subtle approach, meaning even how subtle that we teach these moral values just by exuding them to our children are able to catch them because their teachers are actually doing them in action. And this is why we are able to say, my dear teachers, that values have to be children.
Nako guys, nawala po ata ang ating Sir Ayo. Pero I think babalik siya. Sandali lang. So abang-abangan natin ang Sir Ayo natin. I think he is having some connection problems. So abang-abang lang tayo. Sir Ayo, andiyan ka na ulit? Nakabalik ka na, Sir Ayo? Sir Ayonel, are you there already? Wala pa. So habang wala pa yung Sir Ayo, mga kaibigan, let me take this chance once again to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. At kung nakapag-subscribe na kayo, baka naman sa mga kaibigan nyo na hindi pa nakakapag-subscribe, pakikalat naman ng balita, my dear friends. Paki-like, subscribe, at syempre share natin ang ating mga videos. So ayan, Sir Ayo, andiyan ka na ba? Habang wala pa si Sir Ayo, mag-hi muna ako sa ating mga viewers. Hi po sa inyong lahat. Kila Sir Francis, kila Ma'am Eleanor, kila Ma'am Agnes, kila Ma'am Jennifer, magandang gabi, kila Sir Dexter, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And masaya po kami na andiyan kayo at nag-review with us. And I'm sure mga kaibigan, sa mga sinasakripisyon yung oras, I'm sure talagang ito ay makita ng Panginoon at kayo be blessed na makapasa sa board exam for teachers. Amen ba yan? Amen yan mga kaibigan. Lahat ba papasa sa board exam? Siyempre. Sir Ayo is back, mga kaibigan. Sir Ayo, are you now here, Sir Ayo?
Yes. Sorry po.
Ayan, no problem, Sir Ayo. Welcome back.
Clarissa, please. Thank you. I ask Ate Clarissa, please, to project a PowerPoint for me. Salamat po.
Wait lang po, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Clarissa. We are now in question number 3.
By the way, Sir Ayo, happy birthday. Ayan, batiin naman si Sir Ayo ng happy birthday. Birthday niya. Kahapon ba, Sir Ayo? Tama birthday mo? Kahapon ba?
June 25 po. Oh.
Ayan. So,
Friday.
happy 20th birthday, Ayo. Sana lahat
no?
20, no? Ayan, marami tayong viewers from Nueva Ecija, Ayo, 'di ba? May mga taga Cebu din dito.
Wow, ang galing.
Oh, happy birthday daw, sabi ni Regine Juan. Ito yung isa sa ating mga masusugid na mga estudyante.
All.
Sabi na Dexter, happy birthday daw. Ayan. Oh, Sir Ayo, take it away.
Thank you, Sir EJ. While Miss Clarissa is actually showing the PowerPoint for us, let me review again. Yung question number 2 was actually asking us on the realization out of the research finding that a majority of respondents strongly agree that teachers help develop the moral character of the children. And when teachers are able to develop the moral character, it's not just because of the discipline, it's not because of identifying the values in the syllabus, but it's really about how the teachers model these values to children. Kita na po, Ms. Clarissa, salamat po. Let's proceed to the next 3 more slides, Ms. Clarissa. So the answer is letter B. Salamat. Let's go to the next question. It is a professional development guide for Filipino teachers that consists of different dimensions of effective teaching, understanding learners, and a sound educational pedagogy. Ano daw document, ano daw guide meron yung teachers on the dimensions of effective teaching? Is it the Basic Education Curriculum or BEC? Is it the NCBTS or the National Competency-Based Teacher Standards? Is it the PPSSLC or the Philippine Secondary Schools Learning Competencies? Or is it UBD, the Understanding by Design Curriculum Framework? Now, the answer I hope you were able to get is letter B, the NCBTS. Now, teachers, let's review. Next slide po tayo. Now, the K-12 curriculum is different from the basic education curriculum. Okay? Now, the basic education curriculum is the previous curriculum before the K-12. It is a very long document of how the curriculum is implemented. So yan yung BEC. It's not really about teacher standards or how we are going to develop our students based on the dimensions of teaching. Next slide po. Yung NCBTS is an integrated theoretical framework that defines the different dimensions of effective teaching. Oo, kuha na agad yung language, the dimensions of effective teaching. So yung sagot is letter B, the NCBTS. Okay? If you recall, wait lang muna ha. Nag-echo. There. If you recall, the NCBTS has how many domains? Merong 7 domains of the NCBTS. Okay? Now, these domains are the dimensions of effective teaching. Okay? Tapos, pinalitan na yung NCBTS, di ba? Into, ano yung tawag? Can you chat in the chat box, please? Ano na yung tawag sa bago nating teacher standards? Ito yung PPST, or the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. Next slide po. UBD is actually not a document. It is actually an approach to teaching. Just a recall, yung traditional planning natin is when we start with the curriculum, the activities, and the textbooks. Curriculum natin would be the content. Yun talaga yung iniisip ni teacher, di ba, kapag nagpaplano. Tapos yung activities and textbooks that we do and use so that the topics or the content will be taught to our students. But in the understanding by design approach, we actually follow the backward design method or approach in which we start with the outcomes. Yung outcomes yan yung nakikita na natin at the end of the year. Meaning, as early as the planning stage, iniisip na ni teacher dapat kung ano na yung mangyayari sa bata at the end of the year review. Yan yung backward design, and that is the philosophy of UBD or understanding by design. So remember, dear teachers, yung UBD, hindi siya dokumento. It is an approach as to how we do planning in our curriculum delivery. So next slide. Yung tamang sagot again is letter B. Okay? That is the set of the different dimensions. Yung different dimensions ay yung nasa 7 domains na nandyan sa NCBTS at saka sa PPST. Okay? Kasi wala yung PPST dyan. So therefore, yung tamang sagot is NCBTS. Letter C pala, my dear teachers, is the set of competencies before pa nung basic education curriculum. So this is intended for students. Hindi siya for teachers. Kunin nyo yung clue there from the meaning of the PSSLC, the learning competencies. Meaning yung competencies na dapat ituturo sa mga bata in secondary schools. Okay? So again, yung tamang sagot is letter B. Next slide po. Number 4 na tayo, dear teachers. The teachers of St. Isidore Academy are updating their syllabi because it was recommended by PAASCU during their last visit that they should revise the construction to reflect the school's BMG. How should linkage and sharing of good practices be depicted? Parang ang taas ng situation, no? So, hihima-himayin natin. Number 1, meron tayong mga teachers ng isang school, ina-update nila yung syllabi. Ano yung syllabi? Ibang tawag natin sa syllabi would be curriculum map or yung instructional plan intended for the year. Tapos, may recommendation by PAASCU. Ano yung PAASCU? PAASCU, sa madaling salita, is an accrediting body na nagbibigay ng quality seal o yung selyo that the school is doing its best. Kaya meron tayong mga tinatawag na level 1, level 2, level 3, PAASCU accredited. Meaning dyan, the school is achieving excellence based on a third-party group who is evaluating the quality of the school. So PAASCU is an accrediting body. Maybe in some other schools, yung tawag din sa accrediting body ay PAKUKUA, yung AAKUK, these are accrediting associations. Okay? Now, yung actual na tanong is, how should linkage and sharing of good practices be depicted? Especially when we are updating the syllabi based on the PAASCU. A, appealing to the school boards to allocate separate budget for the resolutions. B, conducting regular meetings among faculty members and school staff to address the recommendations. C, inviting teachers from neighboring accredited schools, colleges and universities as resource persons. And D, supervising closely the development of classroom instructions, learning resources, and students' participation. Again, yung clue natin dapat, dear teachers, is on the linkage and sharing of good practices. So, it's about collaboration, it's about working together. So, saan dyan yung about working together? O, dalawa na lang yung choices natin. Yung letter B at saka yung letter C. Diba? Hindi na yung letter A at saka yung letter D. Now, let's go to the next slide before we give the answer. So again, we would like to assure the quality of our delivery in instruction through external accreditation. So meron tayong mga accrediting agencies. Okay? Ito yung mga lista ng mga accrediting agencies natin. PASCO means Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities. Most of the time, yung PASCO, yung ina-accredit niya would be the Catholic schools. Okay? Oo. Yung other accrediting agencies are also accrediting other types of schools. Next slide po. But yung tanong natin or yung situation is that how are we how are we trying to make sure that linkages are actually tapped? So meron tayong guide dito on the screen coming from USN. What can we benefit from collaboration and interconnection with other schools? I think alam nyo na kung ano yung sagot, di ba? Because if we want to improve linkages and networking, we have to be with other schools. It's not really about competition, my dear teachers, but it's about collaboration. It's not just one school that can attain quality excellence. What if all schools can attain quality education? Diba? Pwede naman yan. Through the collaboration and interconnection with other schools. We benefit with getting opportunities, connections, and support. We will get pool of experts and access to other services that the universities or the schools will be providing each other. Kaya nga, next slide. Yung tamang sagot natin is letter C. Inviting teachers to become resource persons so that linkage and sharing of good practices will be depicted. Okay? Next slide. Next question na tayo. Next question is number 5. After the teaching observation, teacher B was called by his principal for a post-observation conference. His principal informed him that he needs to improve on the area encircle. Kasi ito yung importante. Ability of the teacher to encourage your students to use higher order thinking skills. What PPST domain should be given importance to improve on the points cited. So again, yung situation is, may post-observation conference si teacher by the principal, tapos si teacher daw ay dapat mag-improve in encouraging students to use HOTS. HOTS means higher order thinking skill. So anong PPST domain ang dapat nating itap so that we will be able to achieve the post-observation conference result? So saan under yung higher order thinking skills? Is it under content knowledge and pedagogy? Is it under learning environment? Is it under diversity of learners? Or is it under curriculum? Now let's go to the next slide. Ms. Clarissa, salamat. So the next slide will provide us with the different domains of the PPST. Another term for domains, again, dear teachers, would be dimensions of teaching. Yung question natin sa number 2. Diba? Now, saan natin i-categorize yung teaching of the higher order thinking skills? Meron tayong clue. We need to teach our children higher order thinking skills. So, anong domain yung dapat natin i-improve so that we will be able to teach the higher order thinking skills? Teaching is synonymous to pedagogy. That's in number 1. Domain 1 yan. Content knowledge and pedagogy. So yung tamang sagot is domain 1. Oo. Next slide. Parang mali yata yung underline. Oo. Sorry. Yung tamang sagot is letter A, domain 1. Yung higher order thinking skills. You have to check DepEd Order number 42, series of 2017. Tapos malolocate nyo domain BTI, Beginning Teacher Indicator 1.5. Nandun yung higher order thinking skills and it's under domain number 1. Okay? Pasensya. That is supposed to be domain 1. Okay? Next slide. I hope nakikinig kayo, okay? Domain 1. You can always go back to the video if you would like to check again. Okay? One of the rights of the students is the right to make decisions in selecting alternative fields of work. This is in adherence to a philosophical foundation of education. Identify the philosophical basis. Ano yung clue natin, dear teachers? To help us to identify the philosophy. Ano yung mga clue natin na makukuha natin sa situation? Making decisions by themselves. Making decisions, selecting. Ito yung mga clue natin. So if these are our clues, making decisions, selecting, students having their own rights. Anong philosophy yan? Can you chat in the chat box, please? What is it related to when we use those words? Students' decision-making, selecting, having alternatives or choices. Binigay ko na yung clue. Okay? Yung tamang sagot actually is in the next slide when I want to review on existentialism. Existentialism, dear teachers, next slide tayo, Ms. Clarissa. Stressing on the concrete individual existence, subjectivity, individual freedom, and choice. So if you remember the situation earlier, the students have the right to make their own decisions. When the teacher and the school focuses on that right or on that choice that students make, because it's how they're actually able to develop themselves fully when we assist them in their ability to choose or define their own reality. Again, that is existentialism. Okay? The main idea is existence precedes essence. This means that the focus should be on how the children or the students or the individuals are able to show how they exist. And they will be able to show how they exist when they are given the choice or the freedom. So again, yung tamang sagot is letter C, existentialism. Okay? Salamat, dear teachers. I hope you're still following. Let's go to number 7. Which of the following best defines philosophy? I think mahirap to, di ba? If you look at the choices, parang tamang sagot yung lahat. Di ba? A set of values which are influential and meditative for lifelong process. B, the set of related principles that are based on observation and are used to explain additional observations. C, the study of theories, knowledge, and existing life-altering beliefs. Or letter D, the study of theories of knowledge, truth, existence, and morality. Now, himay-himayin natin. Letter A, a set of values, wrong na kaagad. Kasi philosophy is a branch of study. It's not really about a set of values under that branch of study. So, hindi yung letter A. Letter B, set of principles. Parang hindi rin. Kasi nga, philosophy is a branch of study. We are going to study philosophy. Although, meron mga prinsipyo naman, but the principles are actually subjective. And that's not the point of philosophy. Kasi philosophy is still a study, is still a discipline to be studied. Okay? Kaya nga, yung nearest answers are letter C and letter D. Is it about theories, knowledge, and existing life-altering beliefs? Or is it about knowledge, truth, existence, and morality? To help us, let's go to the next slide. Merong facets yung philosophy. Okay? Reality, knowledge, at saka value. Kaya nga, yung branches under philosophy are metaphysics, the study of reality, epistemology, the study of knowledge, and axiology, the study of value. If you remembered, letter D kanina had the terms existence. Had the word knowledge or truth. Yung existence could be related to reality. Tapos yung knowledge is of course knowledge. Yung value could be related to what is true to me. So, kaya nga, when we study about reality, about existence, about achieving the truth, that is philosophy. So yung tamang sagot, dear teachers, is letter D. Okay? Yung letter C kasi, meron kasing portion dyan about existing life-altering beliefs. It's not the point of philosophy to change the beliefs that we have. Okay? Hindi. But rather, we just study what are the existing knowledge, the truth, existence, reality, morality. Okay? So yung tamang sagot is letter D. Let's go to question number 8 na tayo, dear teachers. What model of curriculum and instruction implies that instructional decisions are arrived at after curricular decisions are made, in which modifications are implemented and evaluated in an instruction spectrum? Teachers, Hilda Tabaw and yung isa pang curricularist, Peter Oliva, was able to identify models of curriculum and instruction. Apat yan. Concentric model, cyclical model, dualistic model, at saka interlocking model. What I want to say is that meron tayong mga models on how we look at curriculum and instruction being together. Concentric ba, cyclical ba, dualistic ba, or interlocking? So let's go to the next slide. To help you understand, meron tayong pictures or meron tayong illustrations to help us identify itong mga models na ito. Dualistic model, curriculum and instruction are separate. Just like what you see on the upper left on your screen. Yung interlocking model, the one on the upper right, nag-i-interlock or may connection si curriculum and instruction. Meaning sa dualistic model, walang pakialam si curriculum ni instruction, walang pakialam si instruction ni curriculum. In the interlocking model, curriculum and instruction go hand in hand. They are equal in the eyes of the administrators and the eyes of the teachers, and that they affect each other. Sa concentric model naman, dear teachers, the one that you see in the lower left, curriculum might be under instruction or the other way around. Instruction will be under curriculum. That's the concentric model. The last model is the cyclical model. Both curriculum and instruction are separate, pero they are in a process or in a cycle. Pagkatapos ni curriculum, we go to instruction. Pagkatapos ni instruction, we go back to curriculum. Now, can we go back to the previous slide, Ms. Clarissa? So, ang tanong, what model of curriculum and instruction implies that the decisions that are arrived at will be after when curricular decisions are made? The instructional decisions will happen after the curricular decisions. And tapos, we will go back to curriculum decisions after doing the instructional decisions. So ano yung sagot natin? What model are we trying to do here in the situation about curriculum and instruction? So yung tamang sagot, let's go to the two slides, Ms. Clarissa, is cyclical. It's a cycle. Pagkatapos ni curriculum, then we go with instruction. Tapos when we are done doing what we need to do in instruction, we go back to curriculum. They are separate entities, but they are in a process. Okay? That's it. Let's go to question number 9. There are separate learning competencies that have been identified by the Department of Education for the elementary and secondary levels of education in the country. I think alam naman natin yan. Of course, iba talaga yung mga competencies for elementary at saka for high school students. Bakit? This is so since education is perceived to be idealistic for the development of intellectual and moral individuals. I think encircle muna natin yung identifying different competencies of elementary and secondary level. Okay? Is it idealistic, letter A? Or B, is it a nationalistic process to prepare students for democratic citizenship? Is it letter C, practical, to prepare the students to conserve nature and resources? Or is it letter D, composed of psychological processes following growth and developmental patterns? I think from that point on identifying levels of education, and in each level, meron tayong mga developmental tasks, diba, that we have to attain in our learners. Because development, growth is actually a process. Diba? Kaya nga yung tamang sagot is letter D. Just to discuss a little, Ms. Clarissa, next slide. We are focusing on developmental appropriateness. Meron tayong mga different competencies, and these competencies, we choose them based on the developmental level of the child. Diba? Hindi naman natin pwedeng ituturo sa bata na grade 1, grade 2 yung algebra kasi it's not developmentally appropriate for them. And it's not also ideal to teach grade 10 students the alphabet because they are supposed to be done with it na. Diba? We have to provide developmentally appropriate competencies at saka developmentally appropriate tasks in relation to these competencies or learning outcomes. Remember, when we say developmentally appropriate, we design the curriculum to match how children learn. We recognize the child's capability and we challenge them accordingly to their level. It is also age appropriate and it's also culturally appropriate when we think about developmental appropriateness. So yung tamang sagot, dear teachers, again, is letter D. Okay? Again, meron tayong separate competencies for elementary and secondary because we have to abide with the psychological processes of growth and development. Thank you so much. Ms. Clarissa, please. Letter D, that's letter D. Okay, let's go to the last question. Joining organizations or clubs in school is requisite to granting of academic distinction under DEX Order number 66, series of 1998. This shows school community connection reflected in activities geared towards society's needs. Ano yung i-underline natin na important words here, teachers? When this is already a question in the board exam, school community connection, society's needs. Yeah, those are the important words. Organizations or clubs. Again, it's about community, diba? So, what philosophy is related to these? Joining organizations, school community connection, society's needs. Is it existentialism? Yung existentialism, diba? Kakadiscuss lang natin, it's about choice. Or the student's existence should come first before what is essential. B, perennialism. Do you remember what perennialism is? I hope you remembered what it is. Perennialism, timeless. Meaning ano yung tinuturo before should also be taught at present. Kaya nga, perennialism will also go with morality, philosophy, at saka history. C, progressivism. Parang pwede yung progressivism, di ba? Kasi progressivism is a philosophy that focuses on progress, pagbabago. And it also taps society's needs. But letter D is social reconstructionism. What do you remember about social reconstructionism, dear teachers? That when we teach our children at present, we have to prepare them for the future. Diba? Oo. And in the future, we would like to reconstruct society. Yung society natin is actually a group of people, or just like the organizations or the clubs that we actually create or organize in school. Tapos, we would like to build school community connection with it. Kaya nga, yung tamang sagot is letter D. Next slide, Ms. Clarissa. We would like to reform society, okay? Improving and reforming society, that's actually the goal of social reconstructionists. We emphasize that education can change the world for the better. School is seen as the logical place to inform citizens at a young age and avoid societal problems. Meaning as early as being elementary children, we already are trying to point out to these children that they can change the world, that they can reform or reconstruct society. When we shift our focus to teaching them, not because of the needed competencies at present, but of the needed competencies and things that we need to have so that we could change the future, if that's how we teach our children now, then we are trying to become social reconstructionists because we can reform society one child at a time. Kaya nga yung tamang sagot is letter D. That's it, dear teachers. Those are the 10 questions that we have for our mini coaching for this month under curriculum development. I hope I can see you again next month for another set of questions for our subject in curriculum and development. Let me end by sharing today with this quote. Successful and unsuccessful people do not vary greatly in their abilities. They vary in their desires to reach their potential. So are you a successful person or are you an unsuccessful person? I hope you are the latter. Good evening, everyone. Maayong gabi, and I hope I was able to help you in your review for your board examination. Good luck and God bless.
Maraming salamat, Sir Ayo. Maraming salamat, Sir Ayo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And take care sa Cebu. At maraming salamat din kay Sir Nico kanina. Thank you. I would say, Sir Ayo, successful ang ating first month ng ating mini coaching series. Tama ba? Super successful. Opo. And mga kaibigan, next month uli, kasi nga ito ang pangako ng MET sa inyo, na from the very beginning up until the very end, hindi namin kayo iiwanan o hindi namin kayo tatantanan.
True.
Actually, Ayo, by the way, I would like to announce na kanina, successful din ang ating mga mock practice exams kanina. So, salamat sa pag-attend. I think maraming pumunta. So, pag may magandang opportunities, my dear friends, huwag sayangin. Attend lang ng attend. Di ba?
Tama, Sir EJ. Hopefully, they will get something really out from what we give because we're doing this not just for our selfish gain, but of course, we would like to reform society as well through good teachers.
Totoo yan, Ay. Actually, maganda yan. Maganda yung sabi mo na yan. And not only that, sa platform din ng YouTube, gustong baguhin ng MET ang playing field dito na hindi lang puro gain ng clicks tsaka ng monetization. Dito talaga, ang gusto natin, magbigay tayo ng tamang impormasyon. Diba? Bawal ang fake news sa MET.
Tama.
Kaya naman, I think,
experts.
Yes, totoo yan, Sir Ayo. Kaya naman mga kaibigan, abangan nyo ulit ang aming gagawing mini coaching series next month, July, mga kaibigan. In the meantime, kung hindi nyo pa nagagawa, my dear friends, pasubscribe naman tayo sa ating channel. Don't forget to subscribe, i-share po ang ating link, i-like po ang ating mga videos, and please hit the notification bell. Mga kaibigan, maraming salamat. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. Salamat sa ating mga viewers. Salamat kay Ate Clarissa for facilitating. Sir Nico and Sir Ayo, maraming salamat. At kay Sir Noy na nasa chat box ngayon. Magandang gabi, Sir Noy. And thank you very much sa ating mga viewers. And happy Sunday, everybody. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.